August 13, 2018, 3 lives vanished from their Colorado home. A pregnant mother, 2 little girls, just gone, just absolutely gone. And the man who stood in front of the cameras, pretending to cry, pleading for them to come back, well, he was the one who took them. Chris Watts, the perfect dad, the charming husband, the family annihilator.
Yeah, he said he did. We're gonna try. Alright. Alright. Did you tell your
mother-in-law that she went to a friend's house today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What friend?
So I sent to the friend's house, but that's all I know.
Who was she supposed to go to?
That's all going to the friend's house.
When did she tell you that?
Morning, we were talking about
In 2018, we thought we knew the whole story. He snapped, he panicked, he confessed. But 7 years later, he's telling a different story, and he's telling it from prison. A new confession, a darker motive, a rewritten past. This isn't a repeat of the case. This episode is everything we know now. We're going to dive into the mind of Chris Watts, unfiltered, unforgivable, and finally exposed. We're going to talk about the 35 minutes that don't add up, because we know from the surveillance footage that Chris Watts backed his truck into his garage, and then he spent 35 minutes preparing to leave. He claimed he loaded Shanann, the girls, into the car, but on camera we only see him gently lifting the children. No struggle, no dragging, and yet he says Shanann was already unalived. So why can't we see her body being dragged into the car, Chris? And why was there a second woman seen walking to a car in that footage? Before we get into this episode, please understand that this episode contains discussions that describe family annihilation, disturbing scenes that could be disturbing to some viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Please take care of your mind, body, and your heart, and if at any point you feel overwhelmed, pause, breathe, come back when you're ready, or not at all. Your peace matters more than this story. This is Dark Milk and Lullabies, True crime told softly but never sugar-coated. When Chris was first arrested, he told detectives he killed Shanann in a moment of pure rage. He was just completely enraged because she murdered their daughters. Yeah, he blamed her. Can you believe he blamed her? Classic manipulation. A desperate man trying to protect the one person he still wanted, Nicole Kessinger. But in these letters, he admits that was a lie. And not just any lie, a calculated, cold, deliberate lie. Let that sink in. He didn't snap. He decided. He planned. In that moment, he saw murder as mercy and himself as the merciful one. We call that a God complex, not grief. Chris Watts says he didn't choose darkness, it chose him. He describes visions, shadow people, a feeling that something else was inside his body. That morning of the murders, he felt he wasn't even there.
I guess it's cool. I texted her a few times, called her, I didn't get a response. That was a little off. Suspecting like if something like somebody pulled in the back again, because we have a driveway back there from the new townhomes, but it's so hard to tell. Like there's no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to.
Yeah, totally sounds like a man who was possessed. You want to believe he was tormented, right? You want to believe he was haunted, maybe even mentally unwell, because if that's the case, then maybe there's a reason, there's a story that makes this make sense. But that's not what narcissists do. They give you a softer version of the monster. Just enough pain, just enough I didn't mean to, just enough confusion that you stop seeing them as a murderer and you start seeing them as broken. The media called it a crime of passion. A man who just broke, cracked under the pressure, lost control. Chris Watts did not lose control. He wrote that he wished Shanann would miscarry, because if she lost the baby, maybe he wouldn't have to unalive her. Go through with it, like it was an event, like it was already on the calendar, like there's no changing it. He researched it, ways to end a pregnancy, natural methods, harmful methods, dangerous chemicals, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. This wasn't a man who lost his mind. This was a man who made a list.
I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
Shanann was shopping for baby clothes. Chris was planning how to erase her, and not just her, Bella and Celeste, and the baby they'd already named Nico. So tell me this, was Nicole there that night? In his letters, Chris mentions we when talking about the last moments. We went to the pumping station. But who is we? Who is the woman seen walking to a car that morning? Was Nicole in the basement that night? The same basement that Chris often slept in? Shanann's phone, her ring, her suitcase, all left downstairs. It actually doesn't feel like she got ready for bed. It feels like she actually never made it that far. What happened? Premeditation isn't just a legal term, it's a mindset, and it's when you don't stop yourself because you already have decided what's coming, what's going to happen. And Chris Watts, he didn't stop. He scheduled murder. 3 murders. Chris Watts is serving multiple life sentences. No parole, no release, no future. But don't let that fool you. Okay, because from his tiny cell in Wisconsin, he's still pulling strings. He's still controlling the story. Chris didn't just want freedom. He wanted a reboot, a clean slate, a new life, a new wife, and no children, just Nicole. He called her his light. He said she made him feel alive. But in his letters, that light starts to look more like a mirror, one that reflected the version of himself he wanted to be. Chris says he didn't want to hurt anyone. He just wanted to disappear. Disappear, Chris? That's not how it works. Chris says Nicole wasn't involved, but she was everywhere before the murders. He texted her from bed while Shanann slept next to him or downstairs. They were Googling vacations, apartments, rings. And when he finally confessed, he said he did it because he wanted to be with her. That was the only reason. He just wanted to be with Nicole. So was Nicole the goal, or was she just a permission slip? These letters aren't just confessions, they're manuscripts. They're polished, they're selective, just enough guilt to seem human, not enough to be irredeemable. Forgiveness? This man murdered his pregnant wife, smothered his daughters. Forgiveness isn't the ending to that story. This wasn't about healing. This was about legacy, even in prison. Chris Watts wanted to be the narrator. Funny thing happened when they were looking through the house. A canine handler paused in Shanann's office. The dog whined, a child's giggle echoed from the closet, and it was all caught on body cam.
That's you. So they're playing first thing to appear.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What world is that? I don't know. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there. That was straight. Well, we're making note of that.
I heard it. I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just started cursing. I was too.
Maybe they're still there. Maybe the truth is too. I want to reimagine the final hours and give you some of my theories, because I think maybe Shanann walked in at 2 a.m. and they argued and he gave her oxy straight away. Maybe they had sex and maybe he waited till she got drowsy and weak and then he made his move. He wanted to have her gone before they woke up. If that's true, it wasn't rage, it was ritual. Manipulators don't just lie. They lie in layers. They give you almost enough truth and then they slip in the version they want you to believe. But no matter how many letters he writes, there are 3 graves that say otherwise. We don't have all the answers, but the lies are unraveling. Chris Watts is behind bars, but the story isn't over. Nicole Kessinger vanished in 2018. New name, new life, but one question still lingers. What did she know? And when did she know it? If you are as obsessed with uncovering the truth as I am, subscribe, hit the bell, and drop what you know in the comments, because someone out there might hold the final piece. This is Dark Milk and Lullabies, true crime told softly but never sugar-coated.